Hi, everybody. This is Jacob Ney. I'm back over here. Everybody, thank you for attending the webinar. This is the English version of the webinar. It's the beneficial ownership interest. We just did the Spanish version about an hour ago. Looks like it went pretty well. A lot of people said they liked it. So I am Jacob. I'm a CPA. I am one of the owners of Tax Lease and Contador Miami. My brother is the CEO of Tax Lease and Contador Miami. He could not be here today, but I wanted to get going on this seminar that's presented. Let's start with the first slide. So now, beneficial ownership. So first, before I want to do anything, sorry, hold on one second. I didn't share it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's get started today. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to figure out my Microsoft Teams stuff over here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about beneficial ownership. My name is Jacob. Sorry about that. So I wanted to get right into it. What is beneficial ownership? Beneficial ownership information refers to identifying information about the individuals who directly or indirectly own or control a company per the U.S. Treasury Department. This is directly from their website, this portion of it, and it gives you a little bit of information. I just wanted to say that this is mainly geared towards people who are foreigners and are not residents of the United States. I'm talking in English now because I just did one of these presentations in Spanish, more geared towards all the Spanish-speaking people. So if there's still anybody left who wants to hear about this, I'm going to be doing it in English as well right now. So I wanted to, and this also the PowerPoint presentation and the slides are also in English. And the last one we did was in Spanish. So thank you guys for attending. Also wanted to say happy holidays and happy New Year. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and Hanukkah, and hope everybody has a great New Year. So beneficial ownership information refers to identifying information about the individuals who directly or indirectly own or control a company. This is what the U.S. Treasury Department says. The government wants more transparency and wants to make it harder for people to hide their assets and gains. Again, this is another way for the United States is that they want to get more information and they're trying to become more serious about having more transparency and more information about the foreign nationals and the entities that are owned by foreigners that they're trying to hide under multi-layers of ownership and LLCs and outside BVIs and other companies. The government wants more transparency. Beneficial ownership information will be made available to federal, state, and certain foreign officials with permission from the federal government. Now, this is not to say that this is available to everybody, anybody can log in. No, you will need, this is going to be a very protected website with very protected information. If somebody does want to get information about a certain company, they are going to have to apply to the federal government to get permission to access that information for that one individual LLC. I don't know what the requirements will be and how hard it will be for other people to get it, and federal governments and also foreign governments and all that kind of stuff. I don't think anybody can access this. I think it's going to be very difficult. I think it's mainly for their internal purposes and for mostly a little bit of the federal and state and maybe even some of the municipals and the cities. So just wanted to give you a little bit of information about that, of who's going to be able to access this information. So, what are the requirements for the beneficial ownership? Starting January 1st, 2024, entities that meet the requirements will have to use the FinCEN website to report the ownership and beneficial ownership of their entities. This includes LLCs, corporations, and partnerships. Any entity that gets registered in a state and meets the requirements of beneficial ownership will be required to report on the FinCEN website. This also can include sole proprietors. So it's not just LLCs. It could also be sole proprietors. It could be single owner LLCs, partnerships. It could be LTDs that are incorporated in other countries. BVIs, it could be a bunch of different stuff. So a lot of it has to do with, if you have a company in the United States and you don't live here and you're a foreigner, or if you have a foreign company and you're operating a business here in the United States, whether it's property ownership or if it's an actual business like a restaurant or a wholesale business. Companies that meet the requirements and were created before January 1st, 2024 We'll have until January 1st, 2025 to file the initial BOI. That's great. It means we have about 12 months if you opened up before January 1st, 2024. Companies and entities created after January 1st, 2024, which is like literally next week, and before January 1st, 2025, will have 90 days to file the BOI. This actually is an improvement because they wanted 30 days, and a lot of people complained. A lot of accountants and CPAs and attorneys complained, and they said, really, you're going to try to do this to people? This is a brand new law, and we're going to get 30 days to do this. So they decided to give these new entities 90 days to fill out this information. Again, if the company was created before January 1st, 2024, then you have an entire year pretty much. After January 1st, 2025, the government's like, okay, enough is enough. You're going to have 30 days to from the time of creation, when you register your company, whether it's in the state of Florida, it's in Delaware, New York, Wyoming, whatever company you're going to be registering in, you're going to have 30 days from the time of creation to file your beneficial ownership interest. Beware that if you are, since all my English speakers are over here and they're, anybody who's American or United States and does own a company, but has foreign ownership involved, that you may be required to file this information depending on what type of ownership they have and how much they own if they're foreigners. So be wary that this is going to apply to some of the companies that we have here as well, not just for 100% foreign-owned companies. So if I have a partner who owns 50% of my company and we bought a piece of property, there will be a requirement for me to report that LLC and get that information out there. Okay, so this is for a lot of different people. So it's not just for foreign nationals; it's also for people who have companies here who share their entities with foreign nationals. So it's very important to note that. This is the official website. It's kind of intimidating, as you can see. I mean, the first thing you see is official website of the United States government, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Not a big fan of the way this looks. I'm not, it sucks that they have to call it this, but it is what it is. This will be the main website where we're going to go to fill out the information. Of course, there's nothing ready yet. We have no idea what it's going to look like. We only have some idea what's going to be on there. We don't know everything yet, so we're going to have to keep waiting to see what's going to be required and what we're going to need to document all that information and to have all the proof that we need in order to file the information so that they can't come back to us and say that we did something wrong. So, be prepared. We're going to be probably sending out some mailers with different information that we're going to need to fill these things out for you guys. If you need us to fill it out for you, if you want your accountant or your manager here at Contador Miami or Tax Leap to help you do it, we're definitely going to be here for you to help you out with it. Please, obviously let us know, send us an email, send us a WhatsApp, or, want to call us, make an appointment. Okay. Don't be intimidated. It's just, kind of looks weird. Requirements for reporting companies. Companies required to report or be regarded as a reporting company. That's just what the government wants to say. You're called a reporting company if you're required. If you're not required, then you're not a reporting company. Two types of reporting companies are domestic LLCs, corporations, and other entities that are created by registering and filing with a state. Foreign LLCs and corporations, partnerships, and LTDs formed in other countries that are filing and registering to do business in the United States. Because we all know, or I don't know if you all know, but foreign companies can register to do business in the United States. It's very simple. You can, there's a little bit of paperwork that has to be done. We can take care of all that filing. We can get your federal IDs, your EIN numbers, or you can open up LLCs with us, domestic, different things like that. We can help you do all that as well. So exemptions from reporting. So, people are wondering, how does everybody have to report? Well, there are exemptions. So the United States says there are many entities that are not required to report the beneficial ownership interest. The U.S. Treasury says that currently there are 23 exemptions from filing, such as banks, broker-dealers, securities, public utility companies, publicly traded companies, tax-exempt entities, state licensed insurance producers that are actually licensed, government authorities, maybe some inactive companies. These are just some of the examples. It also depends on how inactive it is. So that's not 100%. So it depends when it became inactive. It depends if you're still operating. Just because it's inactive doesn't mean it's really inactive. So, those are going to be some of the rules we have to look into as far as who's exempt and who's not exempt. Okay. Trusts. So, if you ever need help with trust, over here at Tax Leave in Contador, Miami, we can help you out with these trusts. Most trusts are not required to report the beneficial interest. Trusts usually do not require filing with the state. And trusts are legal documents and agreements. So, we do have strategic partners that we work with to help prepare trusts and stuff like that. They're not required to be reported because of the fact that they're not legal filings with the state. They don't file a paperwork with the state of Florida or Delaware or Wyoming, just like corporations and LLCs. Now, some trusts may be required to file depending on what they own. And if they own an LLC and the LLC is registered and they own a property and the trust, who owns the trust. So there will be some requirements for trust. So look out for some new rules with that, when they start coming out and how they're going to be associated. So just wanted to go a little bit over that with you guys. Beneficial owner. What is a beneficial owner? So an individual who is either directly or indirectly owns 25% or more of a reporting entity. Okay, number one, 25% or more. So again, you could be 100% foreign owned, or you could be 25% foreign owned. You're still going to have to, you possibly will have an obligation to do this BOI on the FinCEN website. So like I was telling you earlier, if I own a company and I have a partner who owns 25% or more and he's a foreigner, I'm probably going to have to start filing these forms. So it's very important to note that and to, be ready, give some information out to the people and everything like that. Also, an individual who either directly or indirectly exercises substantial control of the reporting entity. Substantial control can be senior officers, CEOs, presidents, CFOs, anybody who has authority to remove officers and directors, any major decision makers, financing and business goals, etc. Those are going to be kind of important for everybody. So just make sure, to be on the lookout for that information and, be ready and prepared to get all that documentation together so we can help you to do the filings. Okay. The company applicant. The company applicant is like kind of like basically somebody like me, like our company, like Tax Leave for Contador Miami. It's a company applicant is required to be reported to the FinCEN website when they are created after January 1st, 2024. So a company applicant is an individual who directly files the document that creates or registers the company. And if more than one person is involved in the filing, the individual who's primarily responsible for directing or controlling the filing, those are the people that are going to have to be. So again, just pick one of the people who are going to be involved in if there's multiple people in one company or whatever it is. If created before January 1st, 2024, then the company applicant does not need to be identified. So again, if the company is before 2024, we don't have to report our information. But after 2024, after January 1st, we're going to have to put our own information as well as the beneficial ownership's information on there, depending on who's helping everybody out. Reporting requirements. A reporting company, remember we said a reporting company is the beneficial ownership company that has to be reported on there, will need the following to be reported. So legal name and any DBAs like fictitious names registered, any, state of Florida, whether it's Delaware, Wyoming, New York, whatever the address is in the United States, the state of formation, the federal ID or EIN number, and also updates and corrections when there are changes to beneficial owners and addresses and updates that will also have to be reported. So, good news is, that you only have to do this one time, and so, if we help you out, it'll be a one-time fee. We hope that we can help you guys out, whoever needs this to be done for them. There'll be probably a little bit of different price ranges, but we'll go over that with you. Please email us or send us a WhatsApp. We'll get more information for you. We have no problem with that. You can, email us at either Contador Miami or at Tax Leave. And possibly, hopefully, this is only one time that you have to do this. Now, when you're doing updates and corrections, I'm going to get a little bit more into this, but then there's going to be more reporting requirements if you're changing any of the ownership information and stuff like that. So reporting requirements continue. Beneficial owners will need name, date of birth, their residential address, no PO boxes, and then we're going to need the ID number. It's either a passport or a driver's license, and we're probably going to have to upload those photos into the FinCEN website. So, this is some of the information that we're going to be required to get. We're going to have documentation on it. Who are the beneficial owners? How do we find out who the beneficial owners are? Do we have an affidavit from you guys? Do we have an operating agreement? Do we have a corporation tax return? Do we have something that shows who the owners are? So those are a couple things. Continuation on the reporting requirements. Reporting applicants will need the name, the date of birth and address, and also passport or driver's licenses and photos to be uploaded to the FinCEN website. So us as reporting applicants are also going to need to have our information handy in order to upload that information. If we opened up your company, if we're the ones opening up your LLC, or if the attorney's opening up your LLC, whoever it's going to be, whoever's preparing your operating agreements, they're going to be also possibly necessary to be on this BOI website. If there is a change, updates to the BOI. So if there's a change of beneficial ownership or other information that needs to be updated, then the company has 30 days to file the update on the BOI, like ownership, positions of officers, address changes, or changes to the legal name. Like if you change the name from ABC LLC to MNO LLC, you need to make a change to the name of the LLC, then you have to make an update. You have 30 days to comply with these updates. Just want you guys to know a little bit about it, but I was looking into some of the penalties. It's not 100% known, but if you don't do these and do them by the deadlines, they're right now talking about $500 per day penalties, and these $500 per day penalties are maxed out at about $10,000. And they're saying that you could be criminally prosecuted up to 2 years. Now, again, they're talking about it. I don't see anything really listed about it and what constitutes criminal. That's kind of also up in the air. We don't know what that constitutes. If you're flagrantly doing something completely illegal or something, maybe. I've been doing taxes and I've been a CPA for over 26 years and I haven't seen anybody been arrested. If you do your stuff on time and you make a good effort and you come clean and you do things like that, I've never seen people go to jail, so not yet. But penalties I have seen. So make sure. I do want to stress about those things, about the requirements, about the filing, the deadlines. So companies after January 1st, 2024 that are new, you have 90 days. And then if the company is created before January 1st, 2024, you have approximately about 12 months to do it. There's no crazy rush, but it would be good to get these done, while we're doing your income taxes, while we're doing your renewals of your companies, your LLCs and stuff like that. It would be great to get those things up to date. I appreciate you guys all listening to me a little bit here and going over this. I see that we have a bunch of people on here. I just did a 2:30 presentation. We had a lot more people, but it was in Spanish. But I appreciate whoever is attending today. A little bit of information about filing deadlines. These are just your standard deadlines. This has nothing to do with the BOI. Individual tax returns, April 15th, 2024, and with the extensions, October 15th. Non-residents, 1040 NRs generally are June 15th, and with the extension, it's December 15th. But the NRs, the 1040s that have wages in the United States and actually have withholding taxes, it's actually April 15th. They're treated more like a resident if they actually have wages or W-2s. If it's an 1120S, an S Corp, or a 1065 LLC, then it's March 15th, 2024 and September 15th, 2024 with the extension. And if it's a C corporation with a December year end, because we all know that C corps can have different year ends. It could be a February year end, it could be a March year end, it could be a June year end. It's normally 4 months and 15 days after the end of the year, so that's why it's April 15th, and it's October 15th, 2024 to do for the federal deadlines. There are also state deadlines. I did not mention them here, but there are also state filing requirements depending what type of company you have. If you're a C corp, especially, not as much with the 1120Ss and the 1065s. So I wanted to kind of go over those a little bit with you. I want everybody to have a good new year and not think about too much, so we don't have to start thinking about this till next year. Hopefully you guys get all the information to us early. We can start working on all the paperwork. Contact us at Contador Miami or TaxLeaf. I'm going to give you a little bit of information here on the our email addresses: info@Contador Miami, office@Contador Miami, info@taxleaf.com, and appointments@taxleaf.com. We have some phone numbers there. I thank you very much for participating. Happy holidays. You know, it was pretty simple presentation. Like I said, a lot of information is not even really ready yet. So we don't know if they're going to add information to these websites and what they're going to ask for. So just, you know, we'll keep everybody posted. You know, we're probably going to send out some type of email reminder regarding what we need to get from you. I want you guys to understand that we'll be there with you and we'll help you through these filings and get this all done for you. Hopefully you only have to do this one time. So if you do this only one time, it'll only be the first time, and then that's it, you're done. If you have any changes, then you have to worry about doing and updating the information on the BOIs. So hopefully this is just a one-time thing for most of us. And you know, if you have changes, please make sure you let us know if there's any changes that we need to update, and we can help you do the filings as well on the BOI filing FinCEN websites. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody for coming. Happy holidays and happy new year. Again, my name is Jacob. Thank you very much.